What's up, dudes? Chooch back with another one, and today we're gonna be looking at the XMEN. Now, this, guys, is a sick new wheel. It's gonna be like the RST and like the RS Torque and the RS High Speed, but it's gonna have this unique like roll cage you see on it, like this awesome design you see here. And I've put together like a little slideshow with some specs and some different pictures we can look at of this thing. It's gonna come with the upgraded foot plates. It looks like it's gonna come with these you see the power pads already on it with the toe pad right here. This is great for jumping, guys, and this whole setup just looks like it's going to be brilliant. Like right out the gate, this looks like it's going to be a stellar wheel. And it has the whole kickstand on the back right here. There's no frills. This is the one thing that kind of is weird to me. It looks like this is kind of like zip tied on here, this fender design. And dude, it looks like they have been looking at my videos of like where I made the Sherman. I made a fender on the back of my Sherman, and it looks exactly like this. Like it literally looks identical to the fenders I've been putting on my wheels before. Another thing to look at right here, it looks like there's not going to be a rear tail light on this. It looks like this might be like something like a bike light or something you put on aftermarket, which, guys, after taking apart that deadgum InMotion V12, this right here, I love seeing this because this sounds crazy, dude. This sounds crazy as hell. But the more wires you can take off of this thing, the more, or the less wires you have to deal with whenever you're going to that control board and piecing this thing all back together, dude, it's awesome. And if you can just have a rechargeable little USB tail light, guys, I got an Olight one that I use. It's the brightest thing in the world, dude. And like I keep it in my bag. It's the small little Olight. I'll link it below. And I put Velcro on the back. And I have Velcro on the back of my helmet. And I have Velcro on the back of my book bag. So I can just stick that light on there in whatever scenario I'm in, wherever I want to put it. And that little thing, dude, is so much brighter and so much better than any tail light they have on any unicycle. And the plus side of that is when you disassemble it, you don't have that wire specifically to deal with. Keep that in mind. That's going to be an awesome thing, is the simplicity of working on this thing, which people overlook, man. I don't know, like, if you ride hard on these and you got to take them apart and you got to change tubes and stuff like that, being able to have simplicity is everything, guys. So looking at this, we're looking at a 2800 watt hollow motor on this. So this is going to be, all right. So the high speed is going to be the red one of this, guys. So you're seeing like this yellow tube right here, and then you're seeing this red tube right here on the design. And it's basically, the color is going to be the variance between what the wheel is. And I know that's weird as hell, and they haven't really done that too much in the past, but I'm cool with that. Honestly, like, I'd love to have both of them be able to interchange. Like if you want to get a yellow high speed or yellow high torque, you could have the option. But I understand, like, if they're just going to be producing like the high speed as the red and then the high torque is, or what is it going to be? So the high speed is going to be red and then the high torque is going to be the yellow. And like that's just kind of like what I would think right off the bat anyways. And if you were going to put a color to like torque and a color to speed, I guess that'd be the way I'd go with it. But again, you see this this fender right here, like this motocross style fender on the back. I'm loving that. It looks like if you crash, it just is going to bend, like bend in. It looks like it's going to flex back out though, and not break off. This thing looks rugged, man. This thing looks like it's going to be just the no frills. The RST, guys, is the do-it-all wheel. This looks like it's going to be the do-it-all wheel, but it's going to have a sweet roll cage on it, like the Sherman did. And the Sherman was sick, dudes. Like, I love having, I mean, I still have my Sherman, but I just love the roll cage of it. Like, I love having metal exposed on the outside. Like, the metal foot plates and the metal roll cage just makes the whole unit look so much more high quality, guys. I love that about it. Like, that's what I love so much about my Sherman. The Sherman, you look at every wheel that I have, and the Sherman is just like, dude, when you walk by that thing, just that roll cage, that headlight, dude, it catches your eyes like, damn, that's a good looking unicycle right there. And like this one, I think, is going to be right up there for the B-Goat and Gotways. This is definitely one of the best looking ones they've made by far. I love that kickstand too, guys. I love that kickstand. One thing, I mean, I think it's high enough to avoid hitting it on jumps. Um, I bet someone is going to snag one on a jump coming down, like on a gnarly landing somehow. And somebody's going to get mad and end up sawing this thing off with like a Dremel tool or something. But it looks like it's up high enough and out of the way to avoid hitting it. Because like with the V12, you got to flip it down. And whenever the one on the V12 is flipped all the way down, it's way lower. Like it's literally like parallel with your foot plates right here. So that's a pretty high up, and I think that'll be out of the way. The thing you got to think about, guys, is just landing on the downside of the jumps is where these kickstands will end up snagging. So they just need to be up high enough to where that won't happen. Ultimately, I think like a bend right here, like if it came down and had like a little bend upwards right here. So if it angled upwards right here and it tilted back even farther, like that would be ideal. Like if it swooped up right there at an angle like that, and you could lean it all the way back to where this was on the ground, and this was up out of the way as far as possible for landing on jumps and going down stairs and everything, because you need that clearance, guys. Because you may come in, I know that's an extreme angle to be talking about landing a jump, but you never know, man. You may be in that situation where you have to land a jump like this, and you would pull it off, you know, miraculously, but you would pull it off if this didn't hit the down slope of that dirt jump or stair set or whatever you're going to be hitting. So you got to keep that in mind, guys. But I love the look of the thing. I think it looks great. I love the yellow one. I don't know. The yellow one looks beautiful. Both of them look good. I really do like both colors. They look good, dude. That's sweet. All right. And so let's go over some stats here. All right, so 2,800 watt hollow motor on this thing, guys. And you might be thinking, okay, what does hollow motor mean? Like if you're new to this whole unicycle thing, a lot of guys already know about this, been into it. But if you're new to this whole thing, you're like, what, hollow motor, man? That doesn't sound good. All that is, dudes, is the weak point on these unicycles used to be the axle. So you got to be thinking like if you're going to be landing jumps and going downstairs, all that type of stuff, and doing drops, just a narrow axle. It used to just be a little axle in there, and like I still have several unicycles like that, and a lot of people still do. It's just this narrow little axle in there, and upon hitting a jump or anything like that, some of them were bending, guys, because these guys were going big on them. And a new design to that was having a hollow motor, which in turn, the hollow motors are more powerful at the end of the day, and also there's 4 points of contact in there. So basically, you bolted in the pedal hangers on each side can go into the middle of this thing, guys, and then they have 4 points of contact instead of there just being one axle that runs through it. And it being a hollow motor, the central point in this thing's beefy. It's about the size of a can, like in the middle of these things now. And so when you're landing and jumping and all that, the actual axle is huge now, and it's substantial. It's about the size of a car axle, essentially, on the inside. It's hollow, but it's about the size of a car axle, and can take a substantial amount more of abuse than the old ones. So that's all a hollow motor means whenever it's talking about that. We're going to be seeing 21700 LG M50T 1800 watt battery pack. So these are the upgraded cells, upgraded LG cells, guys. About 68 pounds on this thing. That's not bad, dude. It's like that's the reason why I love the 1800 watt wheels. It's pretty much right there with what you want to go on especially in the wintertime, guys. Like that's how much I want to ride in the wintertime on a cold day on some trails and stuff. That's usually my go-to is my M Super Pro 1800 watt hours. That's plenty, guys, to do the trails and stuff I want to do. But for some guys, it's not enough, and there's plenty of unicycles and options out there for people that want more range. But this thing, I think, will be sweet for trail riding and park riding and just your do it all wheel. Everybody, there's a lot of people that love these Gotways, and this one looks really good. I think this is going to be a hit wheel right here, a hit wheel, or B-Goat, or Extreme Bull. This is the Extreme Bull. I can't believe all that. I can't keep up with the names, dude. Extreme Bull, Gotway, B-Goat. I don't even. All right. So another thing, guys, it's gonna have Bluetooth speakers on this thing, which is great. I like the Bluetooth speakers on my wheels. Glad to see it. If they can put it in there, that's one thing I'm glad to have. I like having a good Bluetooth speaker. Free spin is going to be 60 miles per hour on the high speed one, guys. That's just the free spin though, but that's still pretty fast, 97 kilometers an hour. And the free spin on the high torque is going to be 51 miles an hour. That's crazy. That's crazy, guys. So I think the high torque is going to be a gem just because it has a really high speed as well. So the high torque, that's going to be a gem of a wheel, man. They're going to be starting to produce these things in March, guys. Mass production time in March. So there's a little bit of time. This is just kind of a heads up of what's to come. You can see this is what it looks like with the street tire. This is what it looks like with the off-road tire. So this is the high torque with the off-road, and that's the high speed with the street tire. I'm pretty sure you can probably get the high speed with the off-road tire if you wanted to. I think that'll be an option, but that looks good, dude. That high speed with that street tire looks good, and the high torque looks good. Both of them are going to be 2800 watt motors. They're just going to be different ratings for speed and torque essentially, but the same wattage. 20-inch wheel, guys, same as the Sherman. You can check out some specs right here, guys. If you want to pause and check out these specs right here, go for it. And then another thing is going to be the 5-pin charging port, and you'll be able to charge it at up to 8 amps, I'm pretty sure. That's one thing though I think that this happening, guys, that people are having problems with their Gotways is they're just charging them at too many amps with these high speed chargers, guys. I've always charged my wheels at 2 amps, dudes. I know it sounds crazy, but my charger, even though it can charge at 8 amps, I charge it at 2 amps, dude, and I'll always do that. And it is because I have multiple wheels. I understand, guys, if you have one wheel and you don't want to have to charge all the time, or if you want to ride all the time and you don't have another wheel to take out, you got to charge it fast. And being able to charge it fast is a good thing. But I really would. That's one thing that I've never done is charge my wheel at like 8 amps with what you can do with these rapid chargers. So that's one thing I would refrain from if you have it. If you do have just a high-speed charger that's already dialed in to charge as fast as it does, that's fine. But the ones you can just ramp up and just yourself, I don't trust those over like 2 to 4 amps, man. I really don't. All right, so the high torque's gonna have the C38. The high speed is gonna have the C30 in it. 100.8 volts, guys. 5,000 lumen headlight, same headlight. All that between both of them. LCD display on the top right there. You see the roll bar on it. I think it's gonna be a great thing. A pickup point on the front and a pickup point on the back. We don't see a trolley handle on this thing, guys. Is there a trolley handle? Or B-Goat or Extreme Bull or whatever the hell it's called now. That was one of their strong points is the trolley handle. But unless, it's the only thing I can see right here, guys, is if the trolley handle, by that I mean the part where you click, if you're new to this whole thing, guys, it's the part where you click down on it and the thing comes up like a suitcase and you can drive your wheel along when you're not riding it. For like going in the mall, taking it into a business or whatever, if you got to walk it somewhere like a pedestrian path or something or a sidewalk. I don't see that on here. Unless it pops out the back here and you push it along like right here, then I don't see it, guys. And I'm telling you, that was literally like one of the worst things that Gotway had was the trolley handle. That thing was always a POS on most of the wheels. But I think this one's just more of a ride wheel, man, and not like geared like the V12 is towards being like a good city wheel. You know what I'm saying? Like the V12 is a good city wheel because you have that easy trolley handle to use. It's real small, not too heavy. This, guys, just looks like this is going to be the rough and rowdy wheel, the one for jumping, for trail riding, for the guys that really like to send it. You know, this is just going to be the wheel that can take the abuse. That's probably in the price range whenever this thing comes out. It's not extremely expensive. It looks really good, and I just don't think it's going to be that market the V12 is going for. I think there's a lot of places on here you can grab the wheel and push it along if you need to, but I don't see like a normal trolley handle, which isn't a big deal. It said James Mucklin says, I kind of dig it. They sure are pumping out wheels like crazy. Yeah, they are, man. From these manufacturers, it's hard to keep up. Like, and I just think that I don't see a problem with it, because innovation comes from them producing these things, and we're just seeing upgrades every time. And I think it's a good thing. I really do. I think with every time they produce these things, something comes back. We're seeing the fenders now. We're seeing roll cages like we liked. They did away with the flimsy trolley handle that kept on breaking for a lot of people. We don't have that crap anymore. Simplicity without too many wires. They just have the headlights, the Bluetooth speakers that everybody likes, with the tail light. A lot of people don't even ride at nighttime. Literally, there's people that get these things and just ride them at parks and stuff like that. So there's a lot of people that don't need a tail light. That's just in the way and something else to break. And having this is literally better, guys. That's why, like with like a race car, it's like they take all the seats and all the crap out of it. That's extra weight, stuff that breaks. Take it all out. Go for performance. And I think that's what they're doing with this. I like that, and I like that they show it on the back. If it comes with that little light on the back, go for it. But if not, Olight makes the sickest bike lights, guys. I'm telling you, they are the brightest, most obnoxiously bright things you've ever seen, and they last forever. I'll link them below. Olight bike lights, and you can put Velcro on the back of them and pop them on your helmet, dudes. And it literally, you have the brightest tail light of any automobile of any person out there. It is awesome, dudes. Like 100%. I don't think that's a bad thing they're doing with this, just because of all the aftermarket options you can simply buy for $15 on Amazon now. So, and get whatever cool tail light you want. But I'm glad there is the headlights in there. That's great to have for trail riding and stuff. And then look at this right here. So this is what Donald Romano says. He said, looks like somebody came off the top rope with a church chair and Ric Flaired the hell out of the Commander. Nice. And I agree, dude. The Commander was kind of lame, dude. Like after the Sherman, and everybody kind of thought the Commander was going to be like the Sherman. We wanted to see a roll cage, dude. We wanted to see that roll cage, man. Like, straight up. Like, that was just beautiful on that Sherman. And I think this is sick, dude. I like it. And I'm glad that the roll cage actually works as a kickstand, so you don't have to buy those aftermarket. People were literally, one of the big things on the Sherman was everybody buying those aftermarket. They're for your motorcycle. They go on the cage and frame of your motorcycle, so if you lay it down, it doesn't skid on the concrete. Your actual motorcycle doesn't. It slides on those frame sliders. That's what they're called. They're called frame sliders, and that's what a lot of people were buying for their Shermans. You saw those like ET looking horns sticking off the front of people's unicycles, off their Shermans and off the back. And that's so you could use it as a kickstand. And also, in the event of a crash, it was also protection on there, but mainly for a kickstand. And so I'm glad to see that you can actually use the roll cage as a kickstand. That's sweet, dudes. Insane speed for the high speed one. I'm glad to see that, guys. That's 60.3 miles an hour for the high speed one. That's free spin, guys. So I'm hoping we can at least get like 52. If we can get like 52 miles an hour, dude, that'd be so sick. But I don't think it's gonna happen. If this is just gonna be running off the same type of stats as the RS is, you can expect probably like high 40s, which is gonna be like actually standing on it with the weight. Like high 40s is what I'm thinking. But exceeding like Sherman speed just without the Sherman batteries, like, it's just not going to happen. Like, having all that weight in that Sherman with all those batteries in there just contributed just to how much speed you could get out of that thing. Like, whenever it was topped off, like 100 to 90% charge, you can fly on that veteran Sherman at 3,200 watt hours, guys. So, like, that's just with wheels on the lower end of watt hours like this one, your top speeds are just not going to be what you can get like out of something like the Abrams, the Sherman, and some of the other wheels that are coming out right now. But this is definitely your trail wheel, your park wheel. It looks good. It looks like you can get definitely rowdy on this thing and not break anything. But I'm glad to see BGoat actually make something that looks good, man. This thing looks so much better than a plastic shell RS or anything like that. I'm so happy they're making this. This is so cool. But sick wheel, guys. Sick wheel. Coming out in March. So, like I said, you'll be able to pick up these wheels in March, guys. Super, super excited about it. Again, you can check it out right here. This is going to be the high speed. That is with the street tire if you look close right there. And this one is the high torque with that off-road tire, man. Sick looking wheels.